Hello everybody and welcome to our subwoofer rewiring tutorial. Right now I have two Rockford Punch Stage 2s and a BD class amplifier, meaning it will deliver as much power as it possibly can. So the issue I'm having is the subwoofers are wired in parallel, so the voice coils are in parallel and the subwoofers are in parallel, meaning we have a 2 ohm total resistance to the single channel on the amplifier. Now because of this, the amplifier is trying to deliver over 750 watts, and it's actually overloading the amplifier, or at least we think it's overloading the amplifier. I still haven't been able to figure out why this thing doesn't work half the time. So I'm going to rewire the voice coils to be in series, and the subwoofers will still be in parallel. So that will change it to a 4 ohm resistance, which will cut the power, the wattage, in half. It'll cut it down to about 450, 500, which is what the amp is actually rated for at RMS value, meaning root mean square, meaning what it average value power delivery that it can provide without fucking up. So basically, and this is kind of hard to do because I'm using my big studio camera, but you can see that we have the wires here. See how they're coming in, and then there's 2 wires going out, and those 2 wires are going to the exact same, let's call it color, or polarity on the other side. So black to black, white to red, and so that is what's called a parallel circuit. So what I have to do is I have to take, this is really hard to do looking through the camera lens, I have to take this power and leave this on, but then this, instead of going back to here, has to go around to the other side, and then the other side has to come to, it's really hard to explain. Let me try to get a little bit better. I didn't think this through, but I've not been feeling good lately, so okay. So right now this subwoofer is in parallel. So what, oh man, I don't want to get this too close to those magnets, but that would be stupid. But what we have to do is we have to pull out this wiring, and luckily it's just push button wiring with some nice tinned or silver wire. So we'll pull out the wiring. Oh, careful. There we go. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to wire this in series. And a series circuit doesn't have dual connections like this. So what we have to do is we have to pull out, oh man, they're soldered together, or are they twisted together? Fuck, they're soldered together. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on this with 2 hands. I'll be back when I'm done rewiring it and I can show you what I did. Okay, so we're back. So what we did is we wired the positive in, and then we wired, this is kind of difficult to do because the wires aren't very long, but, and then we wired the negative to the positive over here, and then the negative here to the main negative. And so that is now a series circuit, and this now has a total of 4 ohms. This will have a total of 4 ohms, and in parallel they will run 4 ohms to our amplifier, and they will be half as loud, but since they were already too loud, that's probably not going to be an issue. So yeah, it's that simple. I will be back with another video on trying to get this thing mounted to the frame so it doesn't slide around and I don't get disqualified from racing on April 27th. So yeah, see you guys later. So now if we go to a song that's supposed to be a little less bass and make sure it's not too loud, because I've been getting so many people bitching about having too much bass on my rock songs, which I don't give a shit. I'm a bass person, but let's try this. Hopefully I won't get copyright. Yeah. What the hell? Where's the bass? I think I have the crossover too low. There we go. Let's turn it back to 200. She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't go on free. Nick, what? Come tell me if this is too much bass for your song here. I want you to help me adjust my levels.
What song?
Can't hear it? Oh, well, you got the sound pretty loud. This one. Too much bass, yes or no? Whole fucking car is shaking apart. Too much?
A little bit.
A little bit.
You can actually hear the guitar now, which is a nice change. But a little too much.
How about now? What is rattling?
There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, everybody. I don't think I made a very good explanation of how I was doing this subwoofer rewiring. Basically, we have our amp, our capacitor, and then we have our two subwoofers. Shitty drawing. And these subwoofers have dual voice coils because they're punch stage 2. So basically what we have is we have our negative terminals on each of these devices, and then we have our positive terminals. So basically right now we have a wire running in that then runs out to that, and then we have a ground and a ground, and then we have our speaker wire, which before I made this repair it went like this and like that, and then ran in parallel to here and here, and then those two ran in parallel. So each of these speaker coils is a 2 ohm load. So if you draw it like a normal DC circuit map, you have your power source, then you have your loads. So this is what it is when both voice coils and subwoofers are wired in parallel. So, and what this is this is 1 ohm, this is 1 ohm, that's a shitty drawing, 1 ohm. And so when you run everything in parallel, it's 1 over R total, I'm bad at this, equals 1 over summation of the resistance. So then that comes out to a total. Wait, hold on. Were these wired at 1 ohm? These might have been wired at 1 ohm. That might have been why it was. Well, anyway, what I did instead is I hate paint. I didn't think this through too much, did I? So what I did is I wired them in series, so the plus goes to the minus. What the hell? Plus goes to the minus, which goes to the plus, and then the minus. Well, I didn't draw this diagram at all correctly, did I? So the plus goes. Damn, I did that wrong. So the plus, which then goes like that. So I wired them. Honestly, I don't know what ohm rating they're at right now because I'm pretty sure they're 1 ohm voice coils, and before it looked like they were wired at 1 ohm total. So now I think I have them wired at 2 ohms. That's what this diagram says. I am incredibly confused now because it was supposed to be wired at 2 ohms from the factory. So now what we have is we have our DC circuit, and we have that. So we have each voice coil in series with the other one, and we have the actual subwoofers themselves wired in parallel so they stay balanced. So now we have 1, 1, 1, and 1, which equals 2 total for that line, and 2 total for this line, which then in parallel runs up to 2, I think. So this is actually 1 ohm. That's why the amp was faulting out. They had it wired at 1 ohm, and now I have it wired at 2 ohm, I believe. Yeah.